Right, the question is, from this worksheet up here, which is a summary, to be able to, you would like to have the entire line copied to the Thursday sheet if there's an X in the Thursday column. So you'd like these two to appear in the Thursday sheet. So presumably Jones and Harris appear, there they are. He would like to see the entire line copied to the Friday sheet if there's an X in the Friday column. So let's see, this one has an X in the Friday column, so just Harris should appear in the Friday, and there he is. This would appear that he's going to increase his number of fields at some point. That's tempting to think he will as well. So this process will facilitate that. Now, this is definitely a question of solving without VBA, actually using MS Query. So to do that, first of all, he's going to have a sheet called, if I can get my caps lock the right way around, Thursday, another one called Friday, and another one called Thursday, Thursday, Friday. Come back to Thursday. You can have a Thursday sheet, a Friday sheet, and a Thursday and Friday sheet. There we go. So the criteria would appear to be, whoops, that's Macintosh coding, Macintosh keys, Control C, V. That's the first one. This is just so that I've got a separate view of these things. That's one criteria. There's an X in Thursday, want those. There's an X in Friday, want those. And then another one is an X in Thursday and Friday. This layout here is completely irrelevant as regards any coding. In fact, it would seem I can't even copy and paste. Here we go. It's just so that I've got a visual reminder of what we're about to do, because we're going to create an MS query or two as represented by X's in Thursday, X's in Fridays, X's in Thursday and Fridays, and output them to 3 separate sheets which will update according to taste. So it works as follows. Put the cell in A1 in the output sheet. I don't know if this copy of the query of the question will survive this process, but it doesn't really matter. So again, it's just for my reference. We need select A1. Notice I've called the file summary, which is to reflect his name as summary here, even if I assume it's not meant to be a Y in it. There will be, in fact, 2 separate files. There'll be the input file, and then there'll be the results file. Maybe it can be done in one file, I don't know. Right, data. This is the key. From other sources from Microsoft Query. This gives access to MS Query. Choose data source. That's a data source type, in fact, not the actual file. Excel files is the answer to that. Click OK. Then up here, let's bring this down where we can see it. See, it says connecting to data source. It's hopeful. The data source is the file called copy rows to sheet XLSM. We won't actually need the M, which is the macro which has got his existing solution in it. Click OK. Now we want the summary sheet, which is in fact that one, and the fields in it are name, task, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, we'll just select the whole lot, because then however many fields he adds in the future, this process will work. Click Next. We're only using the summary sheet for input. We are going to choose all of them. You could, oh wait a minute, this is where we want Thursday. Find the data. If you don't want to filter the data, click. I do want to filter the data. I want I want to contain, well, I want equals x actually. So does not contains, well, it depends how disciplined he's going to be with his input. Okay, equals x. Next. Sorted. There was no request for that. Next. Return data to Microsoft Excel. This means, as I prepared this earlier, that it will return the data to starting at A1 in sheet Thursday. Save the query. That's not defaulting to where it's supposed to. Local disk C, documents, and I'm going to call this Query Thursday. I'll leave that space in there, I'll put an underscore in. Don't know where this file's going to end up. Query Thursday. Let's call it Query 0130, so they sort in the right order. Save. Finish. Existing sheet. I suppose. I don't know if it would give me the option to choose a new worksheet and name it. Properties is interesting. Enable background refresh. I'm going to make it do it so that it refreshes data when opening the file. So you open the file, you get the answer to your query. Essentially the process of opening the file is actually running a procedure. So I'm using the entire Excel environment as a procedural process, if that's not tautology. You can play with it, you can refresh every however often. I don't know how often background refreshes. I have to play with that. What's definition? There's the connection string, that's the ODBC, if there's a password and so forth, and there in fact is the SQL query which you could mess with. However, we're not into that at the moment. Thank goodness, I'd be here all day. OK. And OK. Click. Now go. That doesn't look right. I would like to have the entire line copied to the, if there's an, oh yeah, that's right. So to prove it, you click on this one, you should have the same results. Indeed we have. So, come back to the summary sheet up there. Oh, that was on Friday. I'll just take my little aid memoir and stick it where it was supposed to be in the first place. There. Now, you know what's coming, repeat the same thing. Friday. Data. From other sources. From Microsoft Query. Choose data source type, Excel files. OK. Don't know why they bring that down. Select workbook, copy rows to sheets again. OK. This time, summary again. You click that and it brings in all of the fields. But actually we don't want F7 and F8, that's because it's picking up that stuff I pasted in. Next. This time, Friday. I want to pick up anything where there's an X, so Friday equals X. Next. Sort by. Nothing at all. Return data to Excel. Yes. Save query. Yes. Nope, I don't want to replace it. I just want to name it similarly. So, oops, underscore Friday. Oh, I do caps lock. I wish I could learn to use the shift key. 2. So query 02 for Friday. Finish. Same thing again. Properties. Refresh when opening file. All sorts of other things as discussed. Click OK. And yep, A1. OK. Bang. Now that should look Thursday, Friday, Harris, the same as this sheet. Thursday, Friday, Harris. There we go. It does. And now we come to Thursday and Friday, the exciting one, Thufry. So, same routine, data, other sources, Microsoft query, Excel files, OK. Drag that down there because I don't like it up there. Copy rows to sheets, XLM, OK. Summary, only actually needs the one sheet. Columns in your query, all of them, get rid of that and F8. Don't know what they're doing in there. This time it's only include rows where Thursday equals X. Whoa, no, there's an uppercase just to be clear. Oh, and we've got a choice between and or. I was wondering about that. So it's actually and. So we want Thursday equals X. Friday equals X. Sort by whatever. No, we don't want to replace it. It's query number 3. THU fry. Ugh, caps lock again. Thufry. Save. Finish. Location as usual. Properties. Dink. Of course, forget to do one of these, you get odd results. Some renewing and some not. Some refreshing and some not. That should now be Harris installation XX in Thufry. He hasn't got a Thufry sheet. Oh well. Ones with XX and Thufry. Well, that doesn't answer the question. So, at this point, he has all 3 sheets. Could do a query, of course, that just brings in everything and replicate the summary sheet, I suppose. Does this answer the question? Yeah, well, okay. So now, this file, which is called summary XLSX, I need to save the file. And what I'm going to do here is just tidy up the example data file. Get rid of my old stuff. Save that file as well. These are both saved in a folder called C:\documents, purely to avoid long path names for the purposes of demonstration. So I'm now going to close that file, and I'm going to close the summary file, if I can find where to click. There. I'm now going to open summary. Data connections have been disabled. Enable content. It's an interesting one. Now, of course, we can't tell whether that's changed or not. So I'm going to change the data in the underlying copy rows to sheets. we'll put Jones 2, Harris 2, and copy all of this data so that we should get double the result. So it's easy to see whether or not it's working. It would help if I stopped using Macintosh keystrokes. You can do this on a Mac, but getting ODBC working is a work of Hercules. File, save, close the file, and close the summary file. Do you want to change the save is? Say no. File, open, XLSX, bang, and there we go, saw it update. Lovely. And Friday, double the results. Thursday, Friday, Harris and Harris 2. Thursday, have to remember this file hasn't got the summary in it. So that's replicated, meaning this is the original test data result, and this is it replicated twice, because all I did was copy the test data here. We've got Harris and Harris 2, again replicated. Thursday, Friday, same thing. So that's it. Job done. No VBA involved, although I'm querying a VBA file. I think that's about it. Yes. So the keys to this are that there are 3 not showing here. I wonder if this will let us show us all files. There are 3 query files saved which are referenced by this file, summary XLSX. You can do this in XLS, you can do this in Excel going all the way back to, what's the date on this book I've got here? This is the original Microsoft MS Query manual, which I had to get from an antique bookshop. Microsoft Query version 1.0. You don't see that very often these days. 1993-94, all rights reserved. So that's certainly any modern version. Even people using Excel 2000 can use this method. And those on Macintosh can use it because Macintosh doesn't have VBA, or at least not all versions do, certainly the one that I don't have. So that's it. A solution not involving VBA. Although of course it is involving the use of procedures in the widest sense, but it's all point and click. That's it. All the best. Anthony Mellor here.